Hello again. I'm having a second go with my face portrait. This, I was actually doing a video and then I got interrupted by my budgie farting really loudly. He's unfortunately he has learnt that out of all the noises he can mimic, human flatulence is just about his favourite. You know, it just gets, it's his favourite noise and nothing's going to convince him otherwise. He's very good at it. He's really convincing. A bit too convincing. And it took my family quite a while to be convinced that it was the budgie making the noise and not me. Yeah. Very clever animals, budgies. Sorry, I'm trying to... I was noticing that the perspective was really off the eyeball. You know when you're aware that you've done it wrong, but you're lacking the cognitive abilities to fix it. That looks vaguely a bit better. I had to do that cheaty thing where everything's like really dark around the eyeball, like, ooh, broody. Yeah, there we go. Well, I was talking earlier about what made the previous one so wrong, and one of the main reasons, other than the fact that I was just not patient enough to, draw. One of the biggest reasons was I was sat in a way where I had to turn my head in order to look at myself. Now, if you are doing live drawing or you're doing self-portraits or even still lifes, you should really be sat in a way where you can look at your canvas, digital or otherwise, and your subject at essentially without having to move. And that's doubly important if you are drawing yourself, because then every time you turn around, there's a slight chance that you are at a different angle than where you started while you're drawing, which is very annoying. And also, even if you change the direction of your glance, you will have it'll be quite different how you've drawn it, because the iris is not flat; it bumps out a little bit, which is why, depending on not just what angle you're drawing someone, but what direction they're looking, it will change the shape of the eyeball, because essentially your eyelids are just flaps of skin which accommodate the shape underneath. Yeah. Sorry, bit of messy shading going on, but I want this one to be quick, really. Oh no! I didn't even have to change the canvas to see how wrong that was. No, I like a bit of constructive crit. You're welcome to tell me off for the fact that my hatching is not, following the shape of the form. Yeah, do you know that? You can do mark making that actually accommodates the shape of whatever you're drawing. You can also change thickness and darkness of the lines as you go. All important stuff. This one should be a lot quicker than last time because I'm staying firmly in my comfort zone. I'm just looking at my face. I mean, it's not like my face, looking at my face is my comfort zone. I just mean that you look at, you know what you look like, essentially. And also, I'm staying black and white, and I'm quite used to drawing my own face. Sorry, just keeping my mouth still for a second. I really have to focus when it comes to mouths because I don't understand the structure. Or I do, but it's not at the point where it becomes innate knowledge. It's still one of those things that I can easily forget and slip out of and make little easy mistakes if I don't, actually think about what you're doing. Oh, another important thing. If you have certain troubles with drawings in general, self-portraits are a really good opportunity to practice them. So, say you got a problem with skin tones, paint yourself. Say you got a trouble with lighting, sit in a room where, the light's hitting you in a certain way, like I am currently. I've got a little bit of dynamic shading going on. Yeah, scratchy shading. But also, if you have problems with flatness, a big reason for that can be because you're not thinking about light and how that affects the form. Light and form can quite often come together. It's not just structure. Also, if you have problems with structure and how lighting affects the face, which tend to come hand in hand most of the time. If you have someone who has a problem with drawing faces and making them look 3D, they won't be able to know how lighting accurately affects the form of the face. Pretty hard, wouldn't it? But if you have a problem with either, looking into planes, the planes of a face will definitely help. It's for those that aren't familiar with that, it's essentially like a cube, and how the cube has different faces, and if you have the cube in a certain way, it's going to each side's going to be affected slightly different from light. Yeah, it's that. It's like you polygon a face up, and you're aware that each tiny, minute change in the face is essentially going to be a different shade. I always choose to do self-portraits when I'm not looking too great. I think maybe it's because the days where you do self-portraits are also days where you kind of have a lot of time on your hands. And if you have a lot of time on your hands, you don't tend to be, glammed up. I've got a bit of a... Ooh, God. Oh! Trying to figure out how my face works. It's not ideal to make your jawline too obvious if you're female. Or if, you don't want to look very angular. And I'm not actually angular in real life. I got a big chin. But it's quite... my face is irritatingly smooth. There's one thing, when you're doing shading, there are a lot of areas that you can ignore. Not quite ignore, but you know how in real life there's a big line around here, even though you could be young and nubile, and it doesn't look very nice. It's just kind of like, yeah. I'm ignoring that. I'm choosing to downplay the effects of shade in that area. I'm not having it. I'm not. Ugh. Nah. Yeah. Of course, it is good when you're doing studies that aren't recorded to even pick up these ugly details just so that your brain can register that they're physically there. Because a big part of studying is you are looking at things and you're understanding that they're there and you're actually, learning to replicate them. Don't mind me and my Ace Ventura hair. God, look at my chin. Send me a comment if you're a bit jealous of my chin. Yeah, I remember when I was in a secondary school, we had to do those draw yourself assignments, and I was still quite in love with the anime experience. I mean, I still really like manga and anime, and I admire a lot of artists who do it. It's just that if you don't have the understanding of what makes those styles appealing in the first place, and you don't have the studies to back up doing that style, or, the understanding of what makes something look good and why it looks good, oh god, it's not pleasant. But it is also a time where you're young and just having an interest in drawing is a seriously good thing. That's like when I see kids doing the anime, or, drawing them what seems to definitely be themselves, but has like some sort of weird fantasy name. Wish fulfillment, anime, they're all good when you're young. And, they're still good when you're older. It's just if you're looking to get good at things, and even if, you want to learn to appreciate why you like those styles so much and the artists that, drove you to draw in the first place, it is cool to learn more. Yeah, but when I was young, I drew myself looking like some sort of anime German. Oh, it was bad. I said like those people who were like into rock bands. It was kind of like, because oh man, it was just. Give me a second. I clearly had I wanted it to look kawaii, and I was trying to do realism at the same time, but there were just certain parts that weren't coming together cohesively. Yeah, I remember there was shading on the chin. Oh man. And then there was just the eyeballs. I was, I did my best. Well, I look like I could have gone straight to Valhalla or something. It wasn't good. Oh yeah, but it was impressive. Oof, yes. I used to have a middle pattern that came out like this. Oh yeah, come on. Side monobrow. It's such a shame that big eyebrows weren't in when I was younger, because then I wouldn't have had to, deal with so much. There we go. Yeah, I used to have a middle pattern. Thought it made me look like Link from Legend of Zelda. Here we go. I look like one of those handsome German men that you see in erotic fantasy novels. It was good. It was great. In fact, why didn't I keep that look going? Actually, good. Yeah, I looked like that. It was bad, but it was also a step into realizing the fact that even though I liked a certain style, if I wanted to achieve a certain look, I had to actually learn what I was looking at first. Because there's a way that I could make myself look certain styles now, but that's because I understand what my face is structured like, and I know how to give myself a certain character and caricature myself accordingly. So, you know, I can have a wide mouth, and I tend to have like quite a lopsided grin, intentional and otherwise. So, you know, I can have I can look quite mischievous if I draw myself toonishly. And if I understood manga, or, you know, the more generic styles back in the day, and you know, it probably would have came across quite well. But instead, I was just kind of caught between, I like big shiny eyes. Oh, but I better do realism, so I'll give myself a big chin. And it doesn't go together. You can tell this where I'm not thinking about the structure. Yeah. There we go. I have just literally talked complete drivel this time around. I think it's a little bit quicker though. It's not too bad really, is it? Ah, my tablet is mangled. Mungled. Oh, for God's sake, stop that. Sorry, it's doing this thing where if you stop it, if you touch it, it goes decides you're dragging. It's like, nah, that was not my intention. You. Oh yeah, you know it's close to the end where you start messing around with what are these called? Layer settings. Ooh yeah, pink. Yeah. I don't know what my intention is. I just thought, yeah, I used to put a little bit of colour in my sketches. Thought I'd try again. You know what? Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, honestly. Talked enough, but yeah, at least that's a bit better than the last one. It made me angry. I'll have another attempt at some point. Thanks for watching, and if you've done any, you know, self-portrait studies, link 'em. I like looking at things. It's nice.